Meanwhile, there are reports that Jair
Bolsonaro.
Thank you. Is the fascist president of Brazil? He was in town. He was definitely in town. There's not reports of that. He was in town last week, right? When was this?
Last weekend.
That was March 7th.
March 7th. Today is March.
Came out of.
Oh my gosh. Today is March 13th. 13 minus 7 is how much, Matt?
It's a 6.
6. Okay. Everyone, I want you to keep that in mind. Here's Jar and Donald Trump. They're at Mar-a-Lago. It happened. They're hanging out together. Eating dinner next to each other, I would say about 8 to 12 inches from each other. Of course, they're at a table with all men except for Ivanka. That is, it's the way we roll around here in this country now. All men. And
it's a great honor to have the president of Brazil with us. He's a terrific man. He's done a fantastic job. Our relationship has never been closer. And it's great to have him here.
Is that it? Is that the only touching they had, just where he grabs his arm? And here's another scene. And then they go on to eat. They go on to eat after that. And here they come out. They're coming out of like, where is this? Is this Mar-a-Lago? Who put this music underneath it? This is like some type of news. Handshake. There's a good handshake. And there they are eating. And that's
a lot of backslapping.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Well, it turns out that 6 days later, and when did this come out? It was reported last night, right?
It was reported right as the show was ending yesterday, but that he was being tested.
So he was tested yesterday.
Yeah.
And it takes about 8 hours, I think, on the test that the rest of the world has. I think for the United States, it takes like 16 hours because we're America.
Ingenuity.
Disruptors. And it turns out that there are reports, and, we've seen this in a couple places. I don't know if it's fully confirmed, that Jair Bolsonaro has the C word, ladies and gentlemen. And now, according to, look at that. There's another handshake. They must have done a lot of handshakes. And this is I'm going to hold your hand in one hand, and then I'm going to tap it on the top to show that I am the dominant figure here. But these guys are very close. They seem to be talking to each other.
Our relationship has never been closer.
Never been closer. According to the White House, Donald Trump has not been tested. I would put the likelihood of Donald Trump not being tested for the C word somewhere between 0% and less than 0%. I would say that, like, if there was a way to bet everything I own on that, I would bet everything I own and could own in the future. My guess is that he's being tested every 25 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know what people are talking about. You can't get a test because I've had like 20 today already.
Exactly. What's the results of this one? Okay, take it again in 5 minutes and tell me what the result of that one is.
The test shortage is just because Trump keeps testing himself.
Exactly. I do not wish the C word on Donald Trump. I'm more than happy that it's on Bolsonaro, but I don't want Trump to get away with that.
So there's something really interesting going on. This is a developing story as we're broadcasting now, but after those reports came out and were published by The Guardian, by a publication in Brazil as well, Jair Bolsonaro came out on his own Facebook account and said he tested negative. His son went on Fox News and said that he had tested positive, and then retracted that and said that they had both tested negative. And now the mayor of Miami, Florida, who met with Bolsonaro, tested positive for coronavirus.
So now they've determined that, we can actually just lie about this. We don't have to tell them the results of the test.
Well, I mean, does anybody in the world think that Matt Gaetz is self-quarantining himself after finding out from tests that he does not have it, And he's just doing it for an abundance of caution.
Yeah, I would say there's much more public interest in seeing that doctor's note than there is in Barack Obama's birth certificate.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. I mean, the irresponsibility of people like this, because they don't want to be embarrassed because they were such a-holes about this, is just, it's beyond comprehension. It's beyond comprehension. I mean, like, you know, in fact, I remember, gosh, I can't remember his name right now, but the congressman from Florida got onto the House floor. So back during the, I think the Affordable Care Act, he was a progressive Democratic congressman. I can't remember his name now. Populist. Got on the floor of the House and said, the Republicans' plan for health care, let you die. Alan Grayson. Let you die. And you'll be like, that's hyperbole. It's worse than that. It's literally worse than that. Because now they're actively participating in the deaths of people. This is not like we're going to be passive about your sickness. This is, we are actively going to put out misinformation that will cause people to die. This is just extraordinary. Like, I mean, I am sure there are examples of this in history in countries all around the world, but I am not aware of one that is so naked. That is so naked. Like in the moment they make these decisions, they know exactly what the implications of it are. And it's just playing out in front of us. And the only persons who are going to say stuff like this is something that I'm saying to you right now, is something that Jake Tapper should be saying on CNN. You're going to see, people are going to start to write op-eds about this. I mean, without a doubt. But it's going to be like, look, we put in the op-ed section, there's that crazy guy saying this is irresponsible. And this is just out of control. It's out of control. It's stunning.